Satoshi's wallet's never been touched, right?
Never been touched. Yeah.
And how much Bitcoin is in there?
I believe 1.1 million Bitcoins.
Wow.
If I'm not mistaken. So yeah, 1.1
Wow.
million and never been touched. But some people have sort of hypothesized that that was on purpose to make it even more scarce. You know, if I could meet him, her, them, whether it's alien, I don't know who it is, artificial intelligence, whoever Satoshi was, yeah, I would love to do that.
Do you think it's a team, or do you think it's one person?
I think it's a team, but not in the same way that some people are saying. Like they're saying like, oh, it's this group of people, cypherpunks, they got together and did it. I was like, it's sort of a team, but I think it's a team the same way NASA is a team. All this new technology came out after we got the contact with aliens. And then all of a sudden we got Bluetooth and satellites, and all of a sudden we got cell phones. So I think it's a team of a human and some sort of either time traveler or artificial intelligence person that came back. Yeah.
We made contact with aliens?
I believe so. I mean, any new technology that comes out, I think we've made contact with them. And I think we've been in contact with them for years. The way technology sped up in the 40s and 50s.
Very interesting. Well, I think there's like a theory, Moore's law, that like current technology always creates the next technology, making it on some sort of exponential curve.
Yeah, we're about to kill that with AI. Like Moore's law it doubles every 2 years. Right now, technology is doubling like every 6 months. We're about to blow that out the water with AI.
Do you use AI much?
I do, but not as much as I would like to. I have dabbled with it as far as just fun stuff with pictures and asking questions, just getting a second opinion off their model, just trying to see how their models work. I'll get more into it once this book comes out and the book tour starts. I'll dig into it more for 2024.
Very cool. Yeah, no, I've been using the upgraded premium version of ChatGPT. It's pretty sweet, man. It's a cool tool. It'll be interesting to see how it progresses. Like, where do we go from here? Like, we already have now this all-encompassing intelligence. You know, how many jobs is this going to replace in the next like couple years, man? It's just could be scary, man. Bitcoin could very well be the answer, I think. Hopefully people can get the education that we're so desperately trying to shove down their throats. But some people are just aren't financially minded. Some people just don't think about finances, whether it be gold, Bitcoin, any crypto or silver or stocks. So some people just kind of a lot of people just are living their day-to-day life and aren't really considering the big picture. Did you find that?
Oh yeah. A lot of people are just floating around, as I call it. They're just floating through life. They got bills, they got kids, they got responsibilities, a mortgage. They want to go on vacation. Most people don't sit and think about money the way we do. I tell people a lot of times in the Bitcoin industry, you got to come out your bubble and talk to regular people, because if you sit on Twitter all day or if you go to conferences all the time, you get in this, I call it a circle jerk of Bitcoiners who just agree with each other all the time. And we just muse over how great it is. And then you go out in the real world, you ask 10 people about Bitcoin and maybe 2 of them will be like, yeah, I got some. And then maybe another few will be like, I heard of it. Like, but who cares? So you got to get out that bubble. You got to meet real people. And I think most people, human behavior dictates a lot of behavior. And human behavior has shown most people will not do anything until they absolutely need it. Unfortunately, as much as we want to educate right now, I'm just trying to put out as much content as possible. So when people do absolutely need it, they could just get it all in one go and go from there and learn pretty fast.
Yzer, get Yzer, that app that you guys are working on there, like that's pretty sweet, man. Like, and I like the setup. I truly believe like the future of learning and education is very, individualistic. Learning, having 30 kids in a classroom that all learn at a different pace and a different style. I'm not sure your thoughts around this because you have a background in education, but the whole concept of learning and taking in information is just changing drastically, just like our technology has. Do you have any thoughts around that?
Absolutely, yes. I think we are going to have a generation of autodidact people who are self-learners, self-starters. And I think COVID exposed that. That was the first iteration of it, where children were at home, they were learning from the computer. And I think some of them realized like, hey, I got Google right here. I got ChatGPT right here. I can, figure it out myself and I can learn from my phone. Why do I need to go to a physical building? I think much like we always laugh at physical buildings of banks, where we're like, who shows up to a physical bank anymore? I think we're going to think about schools like that in the next 5 to 10 years. And there's a big push for homeschooling. At the same time, there's enough technology to facilitate homeschooling and then also be able to still learn. So I think you'll have more people who are more apt to learn just from their phone or learn from these free courses. I know I take courses from Harvard, Princeton, MIT. The sky's the limit at this point. It's so much free information out there. You just have to, sort of guide them in the right way. And as someone who has a soon-to-be 3-year-old daughter, I have those plans that I have to come up with as far as her plan for school. And I'm leaning towards homeschool and her being able to learn on her own.
Sometimes I wonder how much of it is about just having a babysitter during the day and socialize. Like maybe they still congregate in smaller groups. I definitely see, some sort of change in that landscape. Any Bitcoin statistics that have really caught your eye lately? Did I just see that we hit a new all-time hash rate?
Yes, new all-time hash rate. And as my mentor Max Kaiser likes to say, price follows hash rate. The rest is just noise. As long as the hash rate is continually increasing, the miners have to continually have that dollar cost of Bitcoin in order to maintain their services. Price just follows hash rate. So that's one thing. I talked about the Lightning Network increase in transactions. Probably the best statistic thing I've seen is that the price of Bitcoin is actually up a little over 60% this year. Most people, they look at this market, they're like, man, nothing's happening. It's going sideways. It's a dead market. And I'm like, do you guys realize that before Bitcoin 60% in a year, you were like the hedge fund king if you 60% in a year? I love that it's 60%. We're basically mad. That just shows you the potential that we have as far as how far Bitcoin can go in price. Sort of the wayfare of humans, because I remember for starting out, 10,000 was a dream. Here we are sitting at 28,000 and people are complaining. It's so hilarious to see. That's my favorite statistic. Anybody's like, well, how much is it up this year? I was like, 60%. What you think about that? If you look at online, you would think we were down 99%.
It's all about perspective. And I saw something else that was floating around there today, and it said something like if you had been dollar cost averaging, I don't know, $100 or something every month after the halving for a little while, like how much you'd be up, like, I don't know, 400% or something crazy like that. Like, it's all about perspective. And when you got in, I think it's somewhat true that everybody gets Bitcoin at the price they deserve. And when you open your mind up to something, there's still a stigma of Bitcoin, magic internet money, fantasy, whatever, without giving it, the proper research that it deserves. If there was one thing about this space, Zay, that you could change, what would it be?
I think I would change Bitcoin Maxi's bubble, mainly because they're making it us versus them. Purity test has never been good. As a student of history, anytime, any religion, any ideology, anything that has a purity test, a lot of times ends up very bad. I love the people who are Bitcoin Maxis who want to help. They, they think they are, morally helping, and that, they have better ethics. But I wish they would be more inviting as humans to realize that other cryptocurrencies that people explore does not make them bad people. I've literally heard Maxis say, well, if you use Ethereum, you're a scammer. And it's like, no, he's a 23-year-old kid trying to figure it out. You know what I mean? Like, and most of the people who are in Bitcoin, they've used other cryptocurrencies. They just won't tell you. I wish the Bitcoin Maxis, they were more inviting for people that are getting into the space, because if we're going to go mainstream, you're going to have everybody. And I would rather them at least have some knowledge. The way I think about it is Bitcoin's already won. There's nobody's going to be close. Nobody has the amount of energy output or people that are going to work on it. Why are we even worried about what they're doing? It's sort of like Michael Jordan versus sixth grader. Do you really think that this sixth grader is going to beat him in one-on-one? No. We're going to win, so why don't you just help them along to make them better? And I think that's a better way to go about it.
What is your Bitcoin price prediction for the end of the year?
I'll be conservative. 40,000. I don't think we
40,000.
Yeah, I don't think we move too much before the halving. I think we'll see fireworks going into next year.
I think earlier you said by the next halving, you think we're gonna be like all-time highs.
Yeah, after the halving until the end of next year, I think we'll see that all-time high. So we got about a year, and we'll see how it shakes out, especially with the things going on with the money printing. Yeah. Jesus Christ, man. We've been printing like 5 trillion.
So you refer to it as the halvening. I'm the Halving Report. Is it really the halvening? Or that was like a trend that came along a couple years later or something, right? Like
yeah. It's really called halving, but the halvening was like it was a joke. It was like a running joke in 2016 where it was like an event where it was like, oh, the halvening is coming.
The halvening, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's happening, but
it's happening
with Ron Paul or whatever. Okay,
yep. And
that's funny.
I just stuck with it. Yeah, some of the stuff we come up with, I keep it. Some of the other stuff I think is kind of corny. Like I don't like hodl. I can't stand when people say hodl.
Oh, really? Hodl to the moon?
Yeah,
Lettuce hands.
It's lettuce hands is hilarious. I love it. But but hodl is like I get where it came from. I like when people just say hold, but hodl, I'm just like, all right, man, just calm down. Man.
Hodl to the moon.
Hodl to the moon.
Now you coined no keys, no cheese. Did you not? Is that yours?
That's mine. Yep. Okay. And also I coined what would Satoshi do? I just haven't put out any merch for it.
I'd love a t-shirt just as Satoshi or across the back or the front or something. What merch do you got out there? You got like some you got hats, sweaters?
I have mugs, book bags, hats, sweaters, hoodies. The only thing is I'm transitioning it from one website to another. It was on Bitcoin Movement. I'm moving it to the Bitcoin and Black America site once the book comes out. So I'll have the no keys, no cheese merch. Hopefully I'll have my what would Satoshi do bracelets, sort of like the what would Jesus do bracelets back back in the day, all types of merch. Because that's one thing about this industry that I really love is that people send me free clothes. I don't think I've gone 2 days straight without wearing some sort of Bitcoin or crypto shirt. That just helps me stack my sats.
I love it, man. I think a lot of us Bitcoiners have a lot of similarities.
I'm done with clothes, man.
Like,
yeah, I don't care.
I'm done with clothes.
Yeah, I'm done with all the I want the Gucci and I don't care about that anymore.
Do you got your kids? Do you got some swag for your kids?
Definitely. I want to give a shout out to Scott Sibley from Play Shamery. He has a lot of good kids clothes for anybody that's watching. Got some good stuff from him, Bitcoin Baby and all that stuff when my daughter was younger. So got a lot of good stuff for her. And as she gets older, she'll definitely have more.
I don't know if you can see up over my left shoulder. I got their card game up here on my shelf.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, we had them on the show. Yeah, they got some good stuff. So definitely check them out. Have you been in touch with our boy Bitcoin Vegan lately?
Yeah, talked to him not too long ago when we were presenting for the Bitcoin grant for Yzer.BTC. He was raising funds for people who were just getting out of prison to get into the Bitcoin mining industry. And I was doing my presentation on the Bitcoin in Black America tour. Both of us were able to receive funds from the Bitcoin grant. So talked to him then. His son's birthday was like 9 days ago. I talked to him pretty recent.
Cool, man. Yeah, I'm planning on trying to catch up with him too. Zay, I'm going to open it up for you. If there's anything we missed, anything you're working on that we didn't talk about, if not, maybe just let us know where we can follow you and learn more.
Absolutely. So 3 things. Bitcoin in Black America, second edition will be available for pre-sale October 31st, the anniversary of Satoshi's white paper, and then the Bitcoin in Black America tour. Those dates will be out following the release of the book. And last but not least, make sure you download Yzer, get 50 free sats just for downloading it, learn and earn. So those are my 3 main things going into the new year.
Have you ever used Riverside before, this app?
Yeah, we used it before, and then we switched off. We used it because it had better sound, but I forgot what's the name of the other one we switched to. Anchor or something like that. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know they were a recording platform as well. I've heard of them, but don't really know too much about them. Though those Riverside's been adding a lot of tools. Like every week, there's something new. Like they're upgrading it a lot. So Zay, I know you're a busy guy. I love your Bitcoin ethos. I really appreciate you coming on, catching my listeners and I up with what's going on in the Bitcoin space, with what you're working on. So thanks for doing this tonight, man.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure, my man.